Greetings, fellow football fanatics. This is an episode of Where Are They Now? Today we're looking at Liverpool's 2012 League Cup winning team, victors against a resilient Cardiff City on penalties after an exhilarating 2-2 draw after extra time. Managed by the King Kenny Dalglish, Liverpool set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation in front of a packed Wembley Stadium. Goalkeeper, Pepe Reina. This would be Reina's penultimate year at Liverpool, with the Spanish shot stopper being loaned to Napoli at the end of the 2012-13 season, replaced as number one by a young and promising Simon Mignolet, a purchase which Reina himself was partly responsible after a failed move to Barcelona as a replacement for Victor Valdés. 32 at the time, Reina would spend 1 year at Napoli on loan before moving to Bayern as backup for Manuel Neuer. After only one season and a meagre 3 appearances at Bayern, one of which included a red card, Reina would be reunited with Napoli for the 2015-16 season, playing a big role as their number one in a dynamic and exciting outfit that placed second, third and second in Serie A during his 3 years there. At the end of his contract with Napoli, the 36-year-old Reina moved on to AC Milan in 2018, where he's currently back up to Gianluigi Donnarumma. Right back, Glenn Johnson. Playing at right back was a 28-year-old Glenn Johnson, who scored Liverpool's 5th penalty to set up Cardiff's Anthony Gerrard, who missed to gift Liverpool the cup. A former Pompey recruit and England international, Johnson would stay on at Liverpool for another 3 years until the club released him in 2015 for a move to a Mark Hughes-led Stoke as their first choice right back. Johnson started well at Stoke before suffering a season-ending knee injury. He played 21 games in the 2016-17 season before dropping down the pecking order with Hughes and later Phil Lambert, both preferring a young Kurt Zouma on loan from Chelsea or the Austrian Moritz Bauer at right back. Johnson was released by Stoke at the end of the 2017-18 season after the club was relegated from the Premier League, and following his release, he retired at 34. Left back, Jose Enrique. Playing at left back, another leftover from Rafa Benitez's Spanish ensemble, the League Cup winning season would be the last time Jose Enrique played decent minutes at Liverpool, with the Spaniard only making 21 appearances over the next 3 years at the club. At the end of his contract, Enrique was released by the club, moving to Real Zaragoza in the Spanish second division for the 2016-17 season, where he would play 27 times before announcing his retirement. Centre-back, Daniel Agger. Starting at centre-back was the Danish firebrand Daniel Agger in his 6th year at the club. Agger would be replaced in the 86th minute for Jamie Carragher as Liverpool looked to inject fresh legs as extra time loomed, with the scores locked at 1-1. The Danish international would go on to spend another 2 years at Anfield, becoming vice-captain with the retirement of Jamie Carragher in the 2013-14 season, before a shock move back to home club Brøndby in the Danish Superliga, with rumours Brendan Rodgers was pushing Agger out to make way for the £20 million acquisition of Southampton's Dejan Lovren. He would spend 2 seasons with Brøndby before retiring at 31. Active after his retirement, Agger continues to run his charity, the Agger Foundation, and recently defended against the likes of Kaká and Inzaghi in a Liverpool AC Milan Legends game. Centre-back, Martin Skrtel. Supporting Agger in central defence was Slovak strongman Martin Skrtel, who would score a 60th minute header to level the game at 1-1. Skrtel would spend another 4 seasons at Liverpool as first-choice centre-back, partnering Agger, Lovren and Sarko, and scoring a prolific 7 goals in the 2013-14 season, despite going second in the all-time Premier League own goal list behind Jamie Carragher. At the end of the 2015-16 season, the club would sell Skrtel to Fenerbahce for £5 million, where he would go on to play 2 seasons for the Turkish club and join the likes of Robin van Persie and Roberto Soldado in their twilight years before retiring at 33. Centre midfield, Steven Gerrard. Deployed by Dalglish as a defensive midfielder alongside Charlie Adam, the Liverpool legend struggled to make an impact in the game and had his penalty saved by a young Tom Heaton. Despite this, Liverpool defeated Cardiff to win the League Cup, proving to be the last piece of silverware for Gerrard at Liverpool. He would go on to play an important role in that defensive midfield position under Rodgers to compensate for his tiring legs and utilise his passing and vision to open up channels for Suarez and Sturridge. Gerrard would go painfully close to the title in Liverpool's epic 2013-14 100-goal season, and would continue to captain the club until his departure to LA Galaxy in 2015. He played 2 seasons at LA, scoring 5 goals before announcing his retirement at 36. Almost immediately after retirement, Gerrard would be appointed as youth coach in Liverpool's academy, spending a year there before being controversially chosen as manager of Scottish giant Rangers in May 2018, replacing the departing Graham Murty. Concerns about Gerrard's inexperience were quickly dismissed, with 12 consecutive wins with the Rangers, currently sitting second behind Celtic in the Scottish Premier League. No doubt a long career in management awaits the Liverpool legend. Central midfield, Charlie Adam. Adam was picked alongside Steven Gerrard in that deep-lying central midfield role, and like Gerrard, would also miss in the penalty shootout, skying the ball into the top tiers of Wembley, but having his blushes saved by an equally poor Rudy Gestede penalty. A Kenny Dalglish purchase from Blackpool, Adam would only spend one season at Anfield, with the incoming Brendan Rodgers shipping him on to Stoke for the 2012-13 season for £4 million. One of the few from this team still actively playing, Adam has remained at the Potters for almost 7 years, though the last 2 seasons he's seen little playing time. In 2015, he notably scored a 65-yard wonder goal against Chelsea, beating goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois from well within his own half. Right midfield, Jordan Henderson. Liverpool's current captain, the then 21-year-old Jordan Henderson was deployed on the right wing, but would pick up a yellow card and be subbed for Craig Bellamy in the 58th minute. Purchased by Dalglish from Sunderland in 2011 for £16 million, Henderson would prove to be a shrewd acquisition for the club, establishing himself as first choice in central midfield alongside Steven Gerrard. Named club captain by Brendan Rodgers after Gerrard's departure in 2015, Henderson had limited appearances that season due to a recurring heel injury, and with Rodgers replaced by Jurgen Klopp mid-season, the German seemed to prefer the central midfield duo of James Milner and Emre Can to support his high-intensity gegenpressing style. Despite this, Henderson persisted and won back his starting position, with Klopp instead deploying Milner as wing-back. Now at 28 years young, Henderson is leading Liverpool in their attempt at a Champions League Premier League double in 2019. Should they be successful, Henderson may go down as one of the greatest to captain Liverpool. Left midfield, Stuart Downing. Playing on the left wing was Stuart Downing, who amazingly was awarded man of the match, sending in the corner that Skirtle converted for the first goal before scoring Liverpool's 4th penalty. Another awful Dalglish transfer, Liverpool spunk £20 million to bring Downing to Anfield from Aston Villa in 2011, with the winger registering an incredibly poor 3 goals and 7 assists over his 2 seasons at the club, including no goals and just 2 assists in the entire 2011-12 season. Downing's mediocrity contrasted with standout performances from Liverpool's teenage sensations Raheem Sterling and Felipe Coutinho. Making a huge loss on their investment, Brendan Rodgers shipped Downing off to Sam Allardyce's West Ham for £5 million, where he would have an equally poor 2 seasons before West Ham cut their losses and moved him on to Middlesbrough in the Championship, where he's still playing regularly at 34. Centre forward, Luis Suarez. Sitting behind Andy Carroll in attack was Luis Suarez, who had already scored 3 goals in the Cup that year. Arguably Liverpool's most talented player of the 21st century, the controversial Uruguayan was a £23 million steal from Ajax in 2011, and Liverpool's most expensive transfer until Carthorse Carroll was brought in a few hours later for £35 million. Suarez top-scored in each of his 3 full seasons at the club, and would go on to win the Golden Boot and Player of the Year for the 2013-14 season, single-handedly dragging Liverpool to an agonising second-place finish behind Manchester City. He would leave Liverpool for Barcelona in the summer of 2014 for a transfer rumoured to be £65 million. With Uruguay at the World Cup that year, Suarez would be embroiled in his 3rd biting incident, taking a chunk out of Italy's Giorgio Chiellini and getting himself banned from all competitions for 4 months. Despite this setback, Suarez set fire to the Nou Camp alongside Messi and Neymar, contributing 25 goals and helping Barca to win the treble in his first season. Now 32, and after 5 seasons and 162 appearances with Barca, Suarez remains first choice in attack alongside Lionel Messi, a testament to his raw talent and ability. Striker, Andy Carroll. Up front that day was Andy Carroll, Liverpool's record transfer at the time, and arguably their biggest flop. He would be subbed out on the 103rd minute for the ever-dependable Dirk Kuyt, who would go on to score the 2nd extra-time goal and convert Liverpool's 3rd penalty. Purchased on the same day as Luis Suarez for a British record of £35 million and a 5.5-year contract, the Big Geordie would spend a miserable 3 seasons at Anfield, with the 3rd being on loan at West Ham. Amid poor form and a raft of off-field incidents, the money had clearly gone to Carroll's head, and he would go on to score a paltry 11 goals in 58 appearances for the Reds, before West Ham gifted Liverpool £15 million to take him away for the 2013-14 season. To his credit, Carroll has stayed on at West Ham and continues to turn out in spite of recurring injuries that have seen him miss almost 150 games over 7 seasons at the Hammers. Now 30, and having recently sustained another ankle injury, Carroll is out of contract with West Ham in the summer of 2019 and may have played his last game. Well, that was Liverpool's 2012 League Cup winning squad, and another edition of Where Are They Now? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Football Fanatics content.